Yeah, welcome back to another episode of the Format Podcast, Wednesday night edition, live. Yes. So as you can see, it's myself, Bruce, host of the Format Podcast, and my main man, the Transformer. Transformer, what's good, bro?
Man, not much, brother. Chilling, maintaining. How about you, brother?
Hey, man, doing the same thing, man. Can't ask for much more than that. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, strength. Hey, I don't want to get off topic here, man. But I know
no.
I didn't want to discuss this until we got on the show. Man, you see how LeBron, made sure he got them double-digit points the other day?
I don't know nothing about that, man. But you know what? Credit to him for continuing to play at a level that's allowing him to. No, for real. Credit to him. He playing at a level.
No, don't try to switch your mood now.
No, I'm just saying. I don't know how many people we would see in year 22 who's still maintaining that high level of play. You know what I'm saying?
Not many. I'll tell you that. We won't see many. I don't think any.
We've never seen any. I got to be real with that.
Yeah.
So shout outs to LBJ. and LBJJR.
LBJJR is freaking hilarious.
I'm just saying, man. You know,
I know they need to pick it up right now. They're looking pretty bad right now.
Oh man, but look, they're 3-1 right now. They're playing good basketball. JJ Redick is, so far so good. He's he's getting credit for the things that he's doing. We know he had a basketball mind. I don't think anyone was confused about that. It was unfortunately much like the other situation. And right now we're just shooting the breeze while we wait for some people to get in the chat. But I think it's just a function of people were concerned again about how he came about getting the job. One of the most, if not the most heralded position in basketball, when he hadn't previously been a head coach anywhere of note. So
no, man, I mean, even, real Laker fans, not just Laker, whatever you want to call them. But, even I thought about that, dang, he didn't do anything in high school, college, NBA,
right.
As far as we know, I mean, he was just a smart mind on the basketball court. But I mean, a lot of these coaches are, but they go through the proper steps, proper protocol.
Right.
I mean, I ain't gonna say proper protocol, but the way we've seen as a norm.
The traditional
way, the traditional path, and he didn't. He kind of Euro stepped a lot of people, and right now it's beneficial.
Euro stepped them. I like that.
Euro stepped them. Just
right.
But but I mean, right now, I mean, he's looking good. I mean, not right now in this game that's on tonight, but we'll see what they do in the second half as they're playing the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, who are incredibly 4-0, looking to go 5-0. So it's a good game so far by now.
I just look at it as, think about it. The Celtics, the Lakers, Duke, Carolina, Kentucky, UCLA, right? Those aren't spots you're just supposed to be able to get without the requisite, the requisite resume. Let's say that.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Now, if he was to do this in Cleveland, totally small market team, small market team, they're not going to go crazy about it. They're just happy to get a name, right?
I don't even
Lakers, that's crazy.
I don't even think it's so much not just the market size. I mean, we say it all the time when you and I talk. We joke, but we know what the Lakers are and what they mean to this league, to basketball, period.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? And so anybody in Mom Duke shouldn't just be able to. But anyway, what's done is done. And the point is, so far, he's doing a good job coaching that team. And, we'll see how it goes as the season progresses.
Yeah, absolutely, bro.
Yeah. But, all right, man, you ready to do this?
I'm ready to rock and roll.
That's it. All right, but before we get started, giving you our Week 9 pick'ems, as we are wont to do on Wednesday nights, and then talk a little NFL. As you can see, we only have 2 topics on the rundown here. It's going to be a kind of short show, and that's my fault. I got tied up here because I was doing a college football show earlier. It's supposed to get done last night, but blah, blah, blah. Things happen, and so I was doing that, and now we're here. So, but we are here to deliver that pick'em for y'all, and then we're gonna talk some Dak Prescott and the Cowboys.
The
But
Dallas
before we get in,
Cowboys.
right, before we get into all that, you know what time it is. If you're here on YouTube and you haven't already, please make sure you go ahead, click that like, that subscribe, that notification bell. Make sure you're kept up to date whenever we drop new content on the channel. If you want the audio only version of the podcast, open up your audio podcast platform, hit the search bar, type in The Format Podcast, and we should come right up. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you give us that like, that 5-star review, and drop a comment. All that stuff helps us rise in the algorithm, helps us find more sports fans, helps more sports fans find us. And finally, make sure you write it down, put it in your phone, set an alarm, do whatever you got to do to remember. Saturday nights at 7 p.m. we are live here on the Format Podcast, and we'll give you the opportunity to call in, talk to us, get at me. I love it. I can't. Yes. Real quick, see somebody that looks new in the chat, Laro. I don't think I've seen you before. Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate it. So make sure you do what the little blurb just said, man. Hit that like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell, and hit the share button. The share button's powerful. All right.
Welcome to the party.
Welcome to the party, Laro. All right, we ready to go with these pick'ems, my man?
All right, we seem like we're hot and ready. You guys been waiting, so we're gonna deliver it right to you. Week 8. Wrapping up right now. I did not tally up. I just now noticed that it didn't save, right? So I didn't save the tally up. So I'm gonna be tallying up as we're going through our picks, and I'll let you guys know what we did for week 8. Nice. I mean, the pick saved. I just didn't save the tally. Right. But we're gonna move on over to week 9 to let Bruce think about who's going to win on Thursday. Thursday, October 31st, which is tomorrow evening at 8:15 p.m.
Halloween.
The Houston and the Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, man.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
That is tough, man.
The Houston just went through a season-ending injury for the ACL of Stephon Diggs, as they're currently without Nico Collins as well due to hamstring. They're going to be traveling to New York and the defeated Jets. I'm not going to say anything else about the Jets. I have nothing good to say about the Jets, but I'm going to go ahead and let you pick. Who do you have coming out of the Thursday night game?
Okay, so Bruce, what up, man? Good to see you in the chat, man. Listen, things happen. Only 2 topics tonight, but we'll be ready for you. Pause. We'll be ready for a better show on Saturday night. Did I fix that?
Yeah, you picked it up. Pause. You picked it up. Matter of fact, you want to talk about the quarterback situation that we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can kind of slide that in there. Pause.
All right, bet. All right, my bad, Bruce. Damn, I had something else. I was working on another show I did right before this. So, but I got you, man. I got you.
At least we're live, Bruce, man. Cut us some slack. We're human.
Right. We didn't cancel the show. We here. All right, but no. So here's the thing, right? This Houston Jets thing. I'm looking at this 2 ways, right? So I want to say the Jets have not shown me anything that makes me believe that they can beat Houston, right?
Nothing.
But I believe the Jets have lost 6 in a row now. Is it? 5, let's see, 5 or 6 in a row,
it's
right?
5.
5 in a row.
2-1 before they lost 5 in a row.
They have not won since the solid dismissal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They've lost 5 in a row, and it is hard to lose 6 in a row in the NFL, right? Because the NFL is just everybody can play, and so I'm like, part of me wants to say just on the strength of just the rationale part of it, like everybody has talent in the NFL, so eventually, you will come out of a slide. I don't believe in what I'm seeing from the Jets. The defense is not quite as dominant as it has been in past years. Obviously, we know that they're still a very good defense. They've got an outstanding front 4, and we know that the secondary is elite, but they're not as dominant as they have been in past years. So there's that. And obviously Aaron Rodgers is not playing to the level that we expected when he arrived in New York. And so against my better judgment, I am going to go ahead and what up, Edward Jackson? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with Houston because the quarterback play is better. I think the coaching is better. I'm going to go with Houston here. It's hard to pick against them in this spot.
It is. But at this moment, I look at CJ Stroud and I just feel bad for the kid, right? You lose 2 of your biggest weapons at the receiving end. So right now you only have Tank Dell. Granted, you got Joe Mixon back there who could take a little bit of pressure off of you. This is going to be a tough game. If CJ Stroud pulls this one out, I think it's going to show a lot about his character, the direction that the Houston Texans want to go in. And how formidable they can be against the competition of the AFC period, right? But right now, I want to so badly pick the Texans, but I think this might be a game that they lose due to the fact that it's just, you're down your weapons, right? Yeah, I mean, your weapons are a big part of what made CJ Stroud great last year. And as we see around the NFL, Jalen Hurts, he loses AJ Brown, they look crazy, right? Baker Mayfield, he uses both of his weapons, loses both of his weapons, he looks, subpar, right? It's just it's just not adding up to what I think could be a Houston win, and they're in New York. I think I'm gonna go with New York on this one. I think this might be the win that they actually get. Like I said, 6 losses in a row is hard to get, but I think this is a gettable one, if that makes sense. You just got embarrassed last week against the Patriots. You shouldn't have lost that game. I think at this point, at this moment, as the New York Jets, you guys lose this game, trade everybody. Just start all over, cancel Christmas, and just move on to the next best thing. Next best thing. I'm gonna go with the Jets. I say all to say I'm gonna go with the Jets this week on Thursday. And if I'm wrong, granted, because I gave Aaron Rodgers and that Jets team hell last week when they lost against the Patriots. But I do think that this is a game that the Jets can go back and look at the Green Bay game and see what we did to piss CJ Stroud off. And I think with the Jets defensive players, they can mimic that a little bit. That's my opinion. All right.
No, I'm not mad at that. I don't think that's a ridiculous take at all, man. I'm not mad at that.
All right. So, man, I like this. We're already starting off on two different games, man. It's all good. It's all good. All right. Moving on over to Sunday, November 3rd. Dallas is going to be traveling to Atlanta at 1 p.m. Who do we have in that nail biter right there?
Okay, so I've got the guys you've been bullish on all year. I've got the Falcons. I don't believe in Dallas at all. I don't see anything that makes me believe that they're going to go on the road and win this game. I think Bijan Robinson is probably going to have a big one because we talk about it every single week. Dallas's inability to stop the run. And we know that statistically, Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott are the identical player throughout their careers. However, Kirk Cousins has been playing better than Dak Prescott has this year. And we'll talk about Dak a little bit later. And so, I'm going to go with Atlanta here, man, because it's almost like the Cowboys offensively are, I was going to say CJ Stroud, but CD Lamb or bust, Yeah. So I'm going to go with the Falcons here.
I completely agree with you, man. Like I said, I've been bullish on Atlanta all year. I do think they got the pieces necessary to, like I said, just maintain the steamway in that division. As you know, I mentioned already, Tampa going through injuries, New Orleans going through injuries, and Carolina's Carolina. So I think they're just trying to maintain that level of dominance in that division. But like you said, man, Dallas just can't stop the run. The boys can't stop nothing. I think I can get you out there with a bad back, and you can get a good 45, 50 yards if I was to give you 10 carries against the Dallas defense right now. So, it's just not working for him. Micah Parsons still may be out. I think they're projecting him to be out. He's not necessarily 100% ready to go. He hasn't practiced yet. DeMarcus Lawrence is still out. The boys got an identity issue, so they don't know what they want to do. So I'm gonna go with Atlanta. Excuse me if my voice sounds raspy. I'm trying to drink some tea and work on it, but it's not working out.
About me, raspy voice. Shout out Jadakiss.
All right. Next game, Miami is going to be traveling to Buffalo in a divisional game, man. Who you got?
Miami and Buffalo. So Tua is back, and Miami already. And again, let me take this opportunity to apologize to Tua because, no, seriously, I was. No, yeah, you're right. I got you. Don't pay this guy. He's not worth it. He's not one of those guys. And maybe he's not the guy that's going to get you to a Super Bowl or a deep playoff run. However, that team and that offense was absolutely anemic without him. So I know you'll probably never hear this, but Tua, I apologize, man, because the difference in that offense when you're there and when you're not, night and day, my brother. So, I was wrong about that. All right, now moving on. Miami and Buffalo, tough one, but I think Buffalo's playing really good football right now. Josh Allen just threw his, I think, first interception of the year halfway through. And when he doesn't turn the football over, we know that is a really dangerous team. They're playing solid defense. They're running the ball. they've got another weapon for him. So I'm definitely going Buffalo here.
All right. Whew.
Damn, Laro. Oh my gosh.
What happened?
Whoa.
Who will be? Wow.
Jeez. Okay,
Came in strong on that one, man.
Right?
Man said, man, welcome to the Format Podcast. I'm coming with a strong comment.
Right?
I'm coming with a strong comment. Right?
Yeah,
this was a good one for me. I want to see Tyreek Hill go for that big game. I think this is going to be one of those days he goes for that big game. I do like what Buffalo's doing. Ever since they got Amari Cooper, that's good. That's one hell of a boost for Josh Allen and his ability to throw the football. It kind of lets Keon Coleman, Go Knowles, my rookie receiver, to just sit back and be like, okay, cool. Now all the pressure's not on me. I'm gonna go with Buffalo. I want to actually look at the weather on this one. I wonder if it's getting cold in Buffalo at this point, November 3rd. Is it getting cold in Buffalo? You know,
it's
getting a little nippy.
Starting to change.
It's getting a little nippy. That leans towards Buffalo even more because you know Tua doesn't play well in the cold. As you know, he's a Bama boy. Other than that, he was born in Hawaii. So you know he's nothing but heat. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Buffalo. I'm gonna agree with you on this one. I do think Tyreek Hill has a big game, but I think Buffalo and Josh Allen, those guys, really find a way to get it done. So I'm gonna go with Buffalo. All right. Moving on. We have Las Vegas and I don't know who their quarterback is, Raiders against the Cincinnati and the Joe Burrow heads in the Bengals. Who do you got?
Oh, Cincinnati.
Easy day.
Yeah, they need it so badly, and the Raiders just don't have a lot. They just don't have a lot. I'll definitely go Cincinnati here.
Easy.
I was surprised that Cincinnati got what they got. They played last week? The Giants,
Philly.
Right?
No, they got beat by Philly bad. Yeah, it wasn't even
and they got
close
beat down.
game. Yeah.
I was surprised by that, but the Raiders don't have what Philly has, so Cincinnati.
No, they got beat down pretty bad. I'm a roll with you on that one. I mean, everything top to bottom, you're better. Quarterback, receivers, running back. I mean, you name it. They have everything better except tight end. I do like Brock Bowers at the Raiders at the tight end spot. I think he's one of the best tight end. Will be the future best tight end in the league. But they just don't have enough, man. Them boys are just terrible over there. So we're just gonna move on. We have Cincinnati. We both got Cincinnati. This one is going to be interesting. I want to see where your mind goes with this one. The Los Angeles Chargers travels to Cleveland.
Okay, so clearly this is not the same Cleveland immediately.
Correct.
Right?
Yes. Talk to him.
Jameis came out firing all cylinders last week.
Correct.
Obviously. So definitely, I think this is a tough matchup. I am prone to believe in the way that Jim Harbaugh coaches football. Run the ball, stop the run, keep it simple, don't make a lot of mistakes. But Cleveland was able to slow down the high-powered offense of the Ravens last week. So as of right now, the Chargers offense is not nearly as high-powered as the Ravens. And if Cleveland can duplicate that and Jameis has another, doesn't have to be a huge game, but another good game, the Browns can win this. So I'm going to go with the Browns here.
Okay. All right. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to hear that.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
I'm going with the Browns too, man.
Okay.
Jameis Winston, boy, go Knowles again. You know, it's back-to-back. Well, not back-to-back. That was Buffalo. Jameis Winston has matured a lot in the NFL.
Yeah, man.
Right? Not just football play, just mentality, mindset. You know, you hear it in his speeches. He just sounds like a grown man, an adult, right? Whose just mind is just on something bigger than football, right? But with Cleveland, with him in Cleveland, they can throw the football. With Nick Chubb back, they can run the football. I think the Cleveland Browns have a possibility of having a sort of mid to late season surge with that kind of roster, right? You get your running back back, you get a Jameis Winston who's fired up, something to prove. There's no target really on his back, like it was for Deshaun Watson. They do lack at the receiving end. They just traded Amari Cooper about 2 weeks ago, but I think they do have enough to give the Chargers one hell of a game, and I think they do walk away with it in Cleveland. I think they got a different level of confidence going into this, going into the rest of the season. So I'm gonna go with Cleveland with you, with that one. Moving on, Oh man, this is a whoo. Nobody's gonna be watching this game unless you live here. New
Yeah.
England is gonna be traveling to Tennessee.
Sheesh.
And who is the quarterback now? I don't even know who the quarterback is. Is it Mason Rudolph? I think it's Mason Rudolph.
Yes.
Okay, Mason Rudolph in the
Yes.
Tennessee Titans. Who do you
Mm.
have, brother?
I don't even know, man. This is a terrible game.
I might not even count this one towards the L or W.
No, this is a terrible game. They both play good defense too. It's like neither one has much of anything. I'm gonna go with New England here, man. I'm gonna go with New England. I don't see anything from Tennessee. And New England has played some good teams tough and won a couple of. Yeah, I'm gonna go with New England here. That's all I can do. I think that might be just leftovers, vestiges of their once proud championship level culture, but I'm gonna go with New England. What you got?
Can we circle back on that one?
Yeah, man.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yo, I honestly don't know. I want to say Tennessee. I don't know. I like their running game better. I like Tony Pollard. I mean, Mason Rudolph is a little bit more mature, but they're both of them are playing their. Neither one of them are playing their rookies. Will Levis is not playing in Tennessee, and Drake May is not going to be playing for New England. So it's not like we're going to have two rookies out there trying to figure it out. We got two veterans, two journeymen, as I would say, in Jacoby Brissett in New England, and you got Mason Rudolph in Tennessee. Bump it, man. Just give me Tennessee. I just want to be different.
Okay.
I have no legit reason why.
Man, look, just say
Tennessee.
you repping for the crib, man. Just say that.
I'm repping for the. Hey, man, shout out Tennessee, man. Big Memphis.
There
hey, go Tennessee. I like that, bro. Quick save, great save.
There you go.
Okay. Moving on over. I like this one. Denver, I think they do have the number one defense in the NFL against your Baltimore Ravens, who just lost to Cleveland.
So Baltimore.
You have
Baltimore.
Yeah, Baltimore Ravens.
I think they're going to spaz out on them too. Baltimore. Todd Monken apparently needs these games every now and then to be reminded, hand Derrick Henry the football. You got this guy, he only ran it 11 times for like 70-something yards, but look at that, 7 yards a carry, feed the beast, please. Like, this is not that difficult. I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole, but we've discussed this time and time again. You, myself, G, Bruce, everybody. But yes, I'm going with the Ravens here, definitely.
I'll go with the Ravens as well. Reason why they got just too many weapons. And at this point, Baltimore has one of the worst defenses in the league.
Pass defenses, excuse
me.
Yes.
Pass defense leads are 31st in the league, but you can't run on them. And I don't think that Denver has enough to make them look like a 31st ranked pass defense.
That's right.
So I think that's where Baltimore is going to be able to, hang their hats on. And take over that football game. So I'm gonna roll with Baltimore on that one. Definitely.
And let's keep in mind too, Baltimore just got Deontay Johnson from Carolina. I forgot to mention that. So they have further bolstered that receiving core. He's not a top 10 guy, but he's a quality wide receiver. So he can be another weapon added there. So
So you got Zay Flowers, you got Rashad Bateman, you have, of course, Likely, you have Mark Andrews. Now you add him.
Yeah,
that's a nice little core back there. That's a nice little core. And then you got Derrick Henry, where you need to be running the football, Todd. Todd, if you can hear me, Todd.
Man, look, don't even. But yes, you're correct.
All right, we both got Baltimore. Now we're going to move on over Washington and the Hail Mary. Jaden Daniels are going to go travel to New York and play the Giants. Who do you have?
Is he playing? I think he's playing, right? I mean, he played against.
He played last week. Yeah.
Washington is clearly the better football team here.
Correct.
I'm definitely going Washington.
Yeah, I just think, top to bottom, they're just better. They're just better. I got nothing good to say about the Giants. I mean, Daniel Jones, he got his money and turned back into the pumpkin that we all knew he was. And Washington, I mean, defense. Giants do have a decent defense. I do like their defense. The defense is not too bad. But Washington just has a lot of weapons on the offensive side that just keep it away from the Giants. So I'm gonna go with the Commanders. I almost said the other name. All right, moving on over. Oh boy, Trash Bowl. We got New Orleans Saints traveling to the Carolina to play the Panthers.
That's a divisional game. I'm going New Orleans here. They're still a little better, but not a lot. But yeah, I'm gonna go New Orleans here.
I go New Orleans strictly because of the defense is better. That's all I got.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not
mad at that at all.
I'm not even gonna roll into anything much more than that. They just have a better defense, man. I just like the defense. Jacksonville Jaguars just coming off a loss to my Green Bay Packers, of course. I'm gonna be traveling to Philly at 4:05 to play Jalen Hurts. Who do you got?
Do we need to ask this?
Philly, got it. All right, moving on.
Yes, Philly.
I don't think, chat, we're not even going to go into any deep discretion about it. Jaguar fans, anybody at Jacksonville, if you're looking at home, yes, we're here in Jacksonville, but we do know Jacksonville is bad. Philly's better. Jacksonville's on the road.
Yes.
Philly's not. They're hot.
Yes.
What more do you want us to do on this show, right? I can't do anything. So it's Philly by a long shot, man. Chicago goes to Arizona. Who do you have in that game?
This one is tough as well. Chicago is playing decent ball. Caleb is learning. But Arizona has
tricky.
Yeah, like
they're so tricky.
They're up and down, man. It's really tough. Bruce,
I agree, Bruce.
What's the trap game? Are you talking about this Chicago, Arizona, or you're talking about that Ravens game? Let us know. Part
of me wants to pick Arizona.
Me too. Me too.
That's a tricky team, man. That's a very, very tricky team.
You never know what you're gonna get from that team. Arizona is slightly favored, probably just on the basis of being a home game. I'm gonna go
favored by 1.5.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Arizona here, but I don't have a whole lot of confidence in doing it. But I think Kyler Murray is probably going to be out to show Caleb, like, I was you before you came in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. I want to say Chicago's going to go back and look at that Green Bay tape and look at what did we do to slow down Kyler Murray early and make him irrelevant for the remainder of the game. Like Kyler Murray didn't really pick it up until like the third quarter, fourth quarter, but it was at that point it was already over. I say that all to say I'm going to Arizona.
Oh man.
Oh, I just don't know, man. Like I said, this is a tricky game. Arizona can look bad one week, then all of a sudden, the very next week, they're looking good. Everything's clicking. Chicago, they're having a great resurgence. You know, Caleb Williams is actually finding his stride a little bit. I do like how they're running the ball with Swift. But James Conner's over there running the football pretty well with Arizona. This is a good game. I think it's going to be a great game than what most of us expect. I'm gonna go with Arizona. Okay. I'm gonna go with Arizona with you. I'm gonna go with you on this one. Now, the game I don't want to get to, the hot and scary Detroit Lions travel to Wisconsin and play. Well, we don't know who's going to play yet. Jordan Love may play. But, Malik Willis is also on standby, but Malik Willis is 3-0. This fun fact, he is 3-0. He does look great. And it's a different offense. It's two different offenses when Jordan Love is on the field and versus Malik Willis is on that field.
What's crazy though? Jordan Love could play. He could play that style of offense though.
Yeah, but I think since you paid him that much, you're like, nah, we want to see you throw it. Yeah.
Right.
Who you have, man?
I got Detroit, man. I think they're playing so well right now, and I don't want to underestimate how serious a divisional matchup is going to be. I don't, but I think Detroit is playing so well right now. They're fine-tuned machinery. Whoa. Bruce has Detroit by 14, 2 touchdowns.
Relax.
Yeah, I was about to say I don't think it's going to be that, but I am confident that they win 5 or more points. And normally I don't do the whole spread piece, but I am confident that Detroit wins.
I am confident that Green Bay can pull it out. I'm gonna ride with the home team, man. I don't know what y'all
Okay.
expect from me,
Okay.
but here's my reasons why.
Yeah, let's hear it.
One, we're in Green Bay. We're very, very great at home. It's a great team at home. Number two, Jared Goff is finally finna play outdoors. He's not a good quarterback outdoors, right? I think our defense is good enough to threaten that, right? Detroit also has other allegations with Jameson Williams going on right now. So it's a little bit more different light on them right now. I'm curious to see who our quarterback is going to be. I think if we can play with Malik Willis, we can win that football game very soundly, in my opinion. I think Jordan Love will put it more at risk that it could be a very, very close game to where it wins by a field goal or a touchdown if you're Detroit. But I think if Malik Willis plays, we could definitely beat them with our run game, with our play action, and our ability to just keep Green Bay on the field long enough to keep Jared Goff cold on that sideline, and he's outside. So I'm going to go with Green Bay in that sense. Of course, I'm a homer, but I'm always subjective. This is the game that I've been dreading all year so far. I haven't dreaded one game until I saw Detroit. I'm like, damn it.
Right.
We're finally playing Detroit, right? Detroit is a very, very hot team, but I think this is one of those, it's divisional. Winning by 14, I get you, Bruce, but this is one of them divisional rivalries. I think it's going to be a little slugfest back and forth. But I do think Green Bay does have the chance to pull this one out. Yeah, 14 is a lot, bro, especially in Wisconsin. We haven't got blown out all year. The most we've lost by is 5 points. That was against Philly, game 1. Other than that, we lost by 2 against Minnesota, and that's our only other loss on the season. So, I'm gonna go with Green Bay in that retrospect. So you got Detroit, of course. Not mad at you with that pick. I mean, those kids are hot. But I'm gonna go with Green Bay. All right, moving on. We have the Los Angeles Rams and Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp. All the boys are back in the saddle.
Yes,
with Kyron the Siren, go Irish. Traveling to Seattle. Who do you have, brother?
I am going to go, believe it or not. I think the Rams are on a little run here. I'm going to go with the Rams. I think, to your point, they've got all these guys back. I think Kyron is playing well. He's kind of the straw that stirs the drink. He can run it. He can catch it out of the backfield. And those two all-pro level receivers that they have, and Matt Stafford, and the defense is playing solid. Your guy Jared Verse, he's playing well. So I am going to go here with the Rams. I am.
I agree with you with everything you said. Everything you said. That looks like a completely different football team with all those weapons.
Doesn't it?
It looks like it was a curve. Who did they play like? I was just looking at it. They played Minnesota. They beat Minnesota.
Yeah.
And it was a great win. Yeah, they put 30 on them. So the boys are back. Those guys do have championship DNA left on that team.
Just a little bit, but enough.
Just a little bit, but enough. But your quarterback was the one that was there. So I think they're looking at the rest of the season like, hey, look, if we're going to do anything, we got to get going now, right? And yes, it's an interdivisional game, and this is one that the Rams need to win, right? They're going in there like, okay, we're back. All the kids are back. The boys are back. Let's roll. Let's make this happen. So I'm gonna go with the Rams as well, because they I think they're picking up that surge. It's like, hey, we're about to go on this run, right? And at least get back into this to this fight in the NFC.
I'd say so.
All right. Oh man, I'm curious to see where Matthew Stafford is so hyped. Super Bowl champion, man. When you win chips, man, you get a little different. But he's always been great. Matt Stafford has been a great quarterback. Detroit is just a horrible place to be. Until now.
I've been so iffy on him because Matt Stafford put up a lot of those Dak Prescott style empty calorie numbers when he was in Detroit. Team getting blown out, so he's got to throw it every down, and puts up a lot of numbers. Not saying he's a bum, not saying that at all, but I don't know if I believe it.
But
I mean,
I've
obviously
also
he did
seen
win a championship, so you can't take that away from him.
correct.
You know,
But in my defense, you know, I'm used to seeing Matt Stafford because, you know, a divisional rival.
yes.
But he can throw you into a win too, right? I've seen him do more with I'm not going to say less, but yeah, I will say with less than Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott had 10 Pro Bowlers on his team, right?
Right.
You know, the one time where we seen Matt Stafford with 10 Pro Bowlers, he went to the freaking Super Bowl,
chip.
right?
Yeah,
you know,
no
he got
doubt.
a chip out of it, you know. So I think in that retrospect, you know, Matt Stafford's definitely been a better quarterback than what people think or people say. And I think the numbers are going to support it. You know, he's definitely going to be, you know, Hall of Fame eventually. I don't think maybe first, maybe second, third ballot, but he's definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame. He's a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's you know, the Peyton Mannings and all that's the upper echelon of quarterbacks. But when you go that tier down, I think Matt Stafford has a comfortable spot right there.
I agree.
All right, so we're going to go to the last game of Sunday nights. Indianapolis Colts and the Joe Flacco-led Colts travel to Minnesota and the seemingly going pumpkin Minnesota Vikings.
So first, let me say, didn't I tell you they should have started Flacco and not?
You heard me never disagree.
That's true.
Just told you what they were going to do.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I completely agreed with you.
Yeah,
I
that's right.
100% agreed with you.
Because
they finally listened to you. I think they was watching the Format podcast. They like, man, that dude Bruce, man, he's on to something. He's on to something, man.
I hope so.
He need to start Joe Flacco.
Like, did you not watch the film last year? I don't know. But
okay, we're gonna touch on this a little bit later. Did he watch any film of him? Period. Florida last year, this year. What did you see? We'll get into that later, brother. You don't have to answer that
question. I don't know, man. I just don't know. Joe Flacco is a football savant. Joe Flacco is more talented than he gets credit for, Bruce. Yes. I don't know if I go as far as say football savant, but yeah, Flacco was one of the, he was that dude. When he made that Super Bowl run, that's one of the greatest postseason runs in NFL history. I was about to say NBA, but NFL history, absolutely. Yeah. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl. Yes, he did, Bruce. And nobody's going to put him in front of a lot of the guys who didn't, but having that ring means something. It's just a little different, but I get what you're saying. Back to Indianapolis at Minnesota. I'm gonna go Indianapolis here. I'm gonna do it because Flacco's been around long enough that Brian Flores is not going to be able to confuse him the same way he would be able to confuse AR. Jonathan Taylor's back, so they really need that. They can get the running game cranked up. We're starting to see Sam Darnold turn back into Sam Darnold. Not that he's played badly, but you know that torrid pace he started the season on, that's kind of faded out. So excuse me, I don't see that that will continue. But the only thing is that would be the third loss in a row for Minnesota. And Kevin O'Connell he's a really good coach. So I'm going to stay with Indianapolis. Real quick, Bruce has a question here, and he asks, "How do we're going to
get to that later?"
Okay,
stand by, cool. Bruce. We're going to get to because I was going to go that direction, Bruce.
No doubt.
I got you, bro.
No doubt.
I got you.
We're going to do that thing we talked about before.
Yes.
Okay. Bet. All right. Yes.
Man, that sounded crazy.
My bad. Yes. All right, Bruce. So yeah, we'll discuss that in a bit.
And then you pointed.
What's wrong with you, man?
You got me. You here? Yeah. Are you here with me? But yeah, man. Bruce, we got you later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. So who do you have? Indianapolis, Minnesota.
I'm gonna go Minnesota. Why?
Okay.
I don't want to jinx myself. I picked against Chicago, and of course, I'm picking against Detroit. So if I do want my Green Bay Packers to win, I can't be picking against the entire division. Right? I'm not man. I'm not gonna pick against everybody in my division because they're in my division, right? But I do think Minnesota, they do need to do something here, because if Green Bay does win, then that kind of separates us even further in that division. We actually move to first place if we do beat Detroit, I believe, because we actually, I think we do move to first place if we end up beating Detroit. And I don't think Minnesota wants to slide too far with a couple of back-to-back losses with a being in that bottom spot, because right now three of us are still in the playoff hunt. So the more of us in that freaking playoff hunt, of course, Minnesota's like, God dang it, now we really truly got to win. So I think this is going to be the game where they're like, okay, man, let's pick it up. I mean, I know Joe Flacco's out there, but let's do what we got to do. Brian Flores, let's get him uncomfortable and make sure we put the pressure to keep the ball out of Jonathan Taylor's hands to make Joe Flacco more comfortable, right? So I think Minnesota can get. I think Minnesota can get it done here, and I don't want to pick against all my divisional rivals, as I've already picked against Chicago and Detroit at the time. All right, final game of the Monday night, which should be flex. I think it should be flex because of the injuries, but yeah, I think it should be flexed out. I think somebody else.
Well, who else going to play?
Actually, Detroit and Green Bay. That would be one hell of a Monday night game.
Yeah, can they do that? Can they move it all the way to the? I don't think so. You can move it out of a time slot on the same day.
Yeah,
I don't think you can.
I mean, it's way too late. It's way too late. It's Wednesday.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, if I was to see that injury happen the last week, I'd be like, oh, okay, let's see if we can switch this day out. But anyway, that's just my thought process. I mean, because it's not going to be a great game in my eyes. Tampa Bay is going to go against Kansas City in Kansas City, and Baker has nobody to throw the football to.
He's trying, man. He's trying. Yeah,
he's trying. But Todd Monken, not Todd Monken, Jesus Christ. My defensive coordinator in Kansas City.
Oh, Steve Spagnuolo.
Spagnuolo. There you go. Spags is he's gonna tee it off on that kid. I think he's definitely gonna dial up crazy pressure to be like, hey, take it out of his hands early.
And that's what I was gonna say. The problem is Baker can throw you some picks. Over the last 2 games, he's had 5 interceptions. So he can throw it to you. He can get in a bad bad habit of throwing some picks over a stretch of games, and that's not what they need.
Correct.
It's not going to be good. I think Kansas City is the easy choice here because the way that defense is playing, and don't get me wrong, Tampa Bay's defense solid too, but the way Kansas City's defense is playing, they are going to most likely force Baker to have to throw the ball. And he's capable of doing that. But again,
correct,
without his main weapons, his number one receiver is now the rookie, Jalen McMillan, who is a good player out of Washington, right? But he's not that guy. Kansas City, man. I don't think Tampa Bay can win this. And that's 3 straight. Did you miss that, Bruce? All right, we'll get to it after this one. Go ahead.
Wait, miss what?
He asked me how I feel about the Ravens' new addition.
Oh yeah, he slightly missed it. Yeah, we talked about it when we picked the Ravens game. Yep. Of course you know where I'm going. If you're undefeated and you're the reigning Super Bowl champion back to back, you got the greatest quarterback in the game, you got the greatest coach in the game, you got one of the greatest defensive coordinators in the game. And you're going against somebody who doesn't have their weapons. I'd be foolish to not pick them. I'm still trying to figure out why is it 64.9% to 34.9. Who the hell is really thinking Buccaneers could come out of this game objectively, right? Thinking? I think this may be one of those games where Kansas City finally looks like an older Kansas City, to where it could get ugly, right? And I think everybody's been waiting on that ugly win or that explosion to be like, well, Kansas City dropped 35 on them and the Bucs only had 10. Right.
I don't think that's going to happen because I think the Bucs they still play good defense. That's
they're still down a couple of corners and safeties.
But
they do got some injuries on the back in the secondary. So that's why I think why. Jamel Dean, he's out. He's on IR. So you're down a corner. I believe their other corner, their backup corner to him, I think he's down. So he's going through some injury problems. So I just think, you're so beat up in the secondary, and that's the worst place to be beat up at because you're going against Patrick Mahomes, of all people, who's trying to find that chemistry with DeAndre Hopkins. So I think this is going to be one of those games where in the first half, it could be a lot of trying to see what we got with DeAndre Hopkins. but then the second half, just put it away. Like, don't play with your food. Put it away. All right, and finish it out the way you should have. But yeah, that's what I think. Right, I think it's going to be probably one of the games where Kansas City looks like the scarier Kansas City than what they do now. So
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
All right, that is it. Wait, you picked Indianapolis over Minnesota, right?
I did.
Okay, correct. I just want to make sure I got that right. All right, and that is week 9. That is week 9, guys. So back to week 8. So week 8, I did tally up all the numbers. Bruce got a whopping 10 out of 16, while the Transformer got 11 out of 16. Right. The one game we separated was again the Atlanta Tampa Bay game.
Okay, there we go. That's fair. Not mad at that.
Tampa Bay game. So that was the biggest difference in our entire schedule. So we both started off rocky. The Minnesota Rams, we picked Minnesota. Baltimore and Cleveland, of course, that game happened. Arizona, Detroit, we picked Miami. The Jets, New England. Like, we start off pretty rocky. Then after that, we picked up a bunch of back-to-back wins. So, but yeah, 10 out of 15 for Bruce. 11 out of 15 for me. So I'm going to declare myself the winner this week. And let's see what we got next week. First of all, I'd like to thank God. Without him, nothing is possible.
Nothing is possible.
Right?
Facts.
It's the fans, guys. It's you. You guys motivate me.
I do this for you.
No, we're not going that far. That's Celtic slander. All right.
My bad. Okay.
I'm done.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm done. You just ruined it, bro. You just ruined my moment.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Can't get 5 seconds.
Damn. I mean, all right. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, man, that is week 9, brother. Let us know what you guys think. I believe Bruce already picked one already. What do you guys think an upset game is going to be? I think Bruce picked Jacksonville over Philly. Is that what he was saying earlier?
I did not.
No, not you. The other Bruce number 2.
Oh, Bruce. Yeah. Okay.
Bruce number 2.
I was like, what? You crazy? While we're on that, Bruce asks, how do I feel about the Ravens' new addition? So he's not a top 10 receiver, but he's another element of speed and route running. And it's just another weapon, right? So you didn't have to give up anything to get him. You got Lamar, another weapon. So if he can hold on to the ball and he can make plays downfield, it's a good pickup. And I think he's very capable of doing that. So it's solid. I'm cool with it. I think it was a good move, especially not having to give up much. Yeah,
I think it's a 6th round pick. And I think if he signs, it's a 5th round pick.
Mm-hmm.
But if he goes away, it's a 6th. I think I got it backwards. I may have got it backwards. But if I'm the Ravens, it wasn't a needed pick, right? To me, you need defense right now, right? I think
secondary help.
You need secondary help, right? I don't think you were a receiver away from changing the fact that you're the 31st ranked defense in the past. All right, we're getting too far away with overloading Lamar Jackson and his talent and what we have on the offensive side of the ball that we forget what the Ravens were built off of.
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah.
The Ravens were when you hear Baltimore Ravens, the first thing you think of is defense. You got to play against the defense. Like, that's what the mystique of the Baltimore Ravens have built their franchise on. And I think now they're creeping to that.
I was about to say it's almost like that's changing now because of Lamar's greatness, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Lamar's flashiness, Derrick Henry's just toughness at running the football. We're adding receivers. We got 2 tight ends who could be number 1 tight ends on any other team. So, like, you got so much on the offensive side of the ball. I don't think you were Deontay Johnson away from just moving, like tipping the scale at all, right?
So I think this is. My bad.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, honestly, what I think this is they're trying to give Lamar everything they could possibly give him so that it can't be said they didn't give Lamar enough help. They didn't give him enough weapons, right? So that if the Ravens don't get it done, they're going to say, what more did you expect us to give Lamar, right? Because that's all we keep hearing. Lamar don't have enough. He don't have enough this. He don't have enough that. Now he's got Derrick Henry. They draft Zay Flowers. They got Deontay Johnson. They got Isaiah Likely. They got Mark Andrews. They got Rashad Bateman, who's finally looking like, a quality NFL receiver. But that drop last week was terrible. But anyway, but yeah, so what they're trying to do is remove all excuses from Lamar in terms of not getting it done. Now, I believe that they believe he will get it done, and I believe he will as well. But they're tired of hearing the excuses of the front office didn't help him. They didn't put anything around him. That's what I think.
I mean, I like it. I like it. I mean, but still, you're going away from who you are. Right? Your identity is your defense.
That's right.
I mean?
That's right.
I'm proud to know if my team prides itself off quarterbacks, right? Green Bay, we draft them, we make them sit 2 to 3 years, we develop. Here we go, right?
Yes.
There's no big trade, nothing like that. Like, nah, we get a quarterback. We pride ourselves off quarterbacks, right?
Correct.
Ravens, Steelers, and even the Browns to a certain extent. You guys pride yourself off a defense. We make sure the defense is solid. We don't want nobody running the football, throwing the football all over our defenses, and we're gonna pride ourselves off of that. And I think that mystique is shifting to like now they're just thundering and lightning. Like, you know what I mean? Everything is predicated off of what Lamar is as an athlete, one, and as a quarterback that he is. So that's my take on Deontay Johnson. I do like that they got him. That gives him another weapon. I just doesn't think it tips the scale at all against them or for them. So yeah.
Right.
Reading something, brother?
Yeah, he's got Rashad Bateman has 5 drops so far this season. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Yeah.
Not too bad.
All right. Nah.
How many drops you think Bruce would have if he went out there and played receiver?
I don't know, man.
Best with you, Bruce, man. All love, bro.
400. I don't know. Oh, you talking to Bruce? I thought you was talking to me. Okay.
No. I'm talking to him. I think he mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
Who said something about it?
No,
that was Lauro. My bad, Bruce, man. My bad. You don't got to hit me with the Hakeem the Dream thing, bro. I'm good. My bad. I looked at it wrong. But look at it now, Transformer. It's an offensive league now. It is to an extent, right? Don't forget your identity. Look at your Steelers. Edward. Your Steelers are what? Number 1, possibly number 2 defense in the league. You kept your mystique, right? Your mystique is defense. The steel curtain, right? The Ravens. You hear Ravens, you're like, boy, we got to worry about the defense. Man, who's on the defensive side of the football, right? And I think that last offseason, they got rid of too many pieces on the defensive side, and it is showing badly right now. What they have going on. Don't be fooled by the Ravens defense. Team have been playing catch up the last 5 weeks.
So
the last 5 weeks, it still 31st in pass defense. I don't get that comment.
Yeah.
You don't just drop to 31st. That you take. That means
and it's not like they're throwing it all over and just getting that right, because the Ravens are allowing teams back into these games where they're consistently blowing them out. So that is emblematic of defensive problems, especially in the back end. Pause. So yeah, that's the issue.
No,
that is true. That's true, Bruce. That's true. Especially Kyle Hamilton with the big one at the end of the game. You're right.
I mean, but we can say that about a lot of teams, though, Bruce. A lot of drop picks do happen. That's why they play defense. They don't know how to catch. About
4 in one game, though. Like that shouldn't happen.
Oh, okay.
The one Kyle Hamilton dropped, like in his hands between the numbers, like that's not supposed to happen.
Yeah, 4 in one game is bad. But I wanted to because I made this statement. I think it was last week or the week before. Listen to these numbers, right?
Okay.
The Ravens teams that they've played against. Listen to what the defense gave up. 27 points against Kansas City, 26 points against the Raiders. You lost both of those back to back. You then turn around, give up 25 to the Cowboys. You finally silence the Bills, right? You silence the Bills, but then you give up 38 to the Bengals. You give up 23 to the Commanders. You give up 31 to the Buccaneers, and you just gave up 29 to the Browns. Where's the defense?
It's not supposed to be that way.
Like that.
Yeah.
So those are high numbers. Now, granted, not a lot of them in the 30s, but every team, with the exception of the Bills, is scoring 25 or more.
What
Right?
up, Tyler?
That's not what we're used to, watching, or when you hear, Baltimore Ravens, right? So that's my take on it. I'm rooting for you guys, man. You make a good point.
That's a good comment, Tyler.
Like the Pittsburgh Steelers, Justin Fields was playing good for us, but we need to put up points. I don't get, what are we talking about, Edward? What are we talking about? Because I mean, even with Russell Wilson, your defense won you that game last week. That strip sack from TJ Watt. You have the best defensive end in football. Like, what can you say? Like, name the best defensive player on the Ravens.
Roquan.
It took you a minute. We're not used to doing that. That's my point.
I really think about it.
Yeah, you got to think about it. Like, damn, who's the best defensive player on the Ravens? Like, you go to the Steelers. Who's the best defensive player on the Steelers? TJ Watt. Who's the best defensive player in Cleveland?
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett. It's quick, right? You have that. You have that. Mystique, that weapon, that threat, right? I just don't think the Ravens have that one.
That's a fact, Tyler. I believe in that. I believe in that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But if you're playing against the Ravens, throw that mother to death. Just throw it.
Yeah.
Hey, we're throwing the ball 50 times. We ain't running this ball 50.
Yeah. First team All Pro, Kyle. You're right. Go Irish.
Go out. Damn it.
I got to get a drop for that.
Go Irish.
Yeah. Music and everything. But now I hear you. Okay. So does anybody want to call in and have anything to say about that? Let me throw it in the chat real quick.
Let us know your upsets, man. What do you guys got?
We'll wait about 2 minutes and then we'll go from there. So I put the number in the chat, 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264, and it's scrolling on the bottom of your screen. So if you have anything to say here, go ahead, hit us up. And after that, we'll move to second topic, Dak Prescott. Have some fun with that.
Is that my dog snoring? Yo, my dog is wild.
Tyler, what's good, man?
What's up, gentlemen? How are y'all tonight?
Doing all right,
Tyler, what's crazy? What's cracking?
Man, I'm trying to get back into the groove of my favorite podcast. Since having this baby, we've been running on E.
I hear you, man.
You had a baby recently, didn't you?
He did.
A week or two ago, something like that.
Yes.
Oh, he definitely on E. He doesn't even know how old the baby is.
That kid is like being a Ravens fan. It's like,
oh man.
Once you're done with the baby stage, it's like, all right, I'm ready to do that again. Super Bowl's over. I'm ready to get back into the season again. And you give up 20-point fourth quarters, and you're like, why do I do this to myself?
Yeah, it's tough, man.
Carolina, and just expect nothing.
That's right.
But I had a couple upsets for you guys.
Okay, what you got?
And of course, I do very small betting. A lot of the betting I do is just with myself. I don't even actually push the button. I just like to test it out and see how it goes. And then if I'm super confident, I'll push the button. Here's a super confident one for you. Packers, money line, beating the Lions at home.
Wow.
This is vintage spot for the Packers to begin their run, just like they did last year. And the story today on Twitter was Goff missed practice with a sprained ankle.
I didn't even know that one. Good call.
Yeah, I saw it, but I got an alert that Lamar missed practice with a back injury. Harbaugh's line asked that it was a rest day. You can't hide from the injury report. But,
right.
And then I looked and I said, oh shit, Goff's not hurt too. And then I got the Dolphins. Sneaking the Bills. Right now the Bills are 6-point favorites. I like the Dolphins. I love Tua. He came back and he's looking fresh. I think that was one of the best things that ever happened to him. Kind of this one where it was like a come to Jesus moment with his family, the doctor. I haven't seen Tua slide in his professional career. And he looks pretty good sliding. He looks pretty good taking care of himself. And when he takes care of himself and when the Dolphins are clicking, they can beat any team. And this divisional matchup, 6 points in a divisional matchup. I don't trust any team 6 points in a divisional matchup.
Yeah,
I mean, the Chiefs barely clipped the Raiders by 6 points last week.
Told you about these divisional matchups, Transformers. See, you didn't want to hear me though.
Tough. You can't
not
count
when
anybody
it
out.
was them though.
I'm also looking at New Orleans. New Orleans has beat 2 teams this year in the year of 2024, and they're 7.5-point favorites on the road against a divisional opponent. I think that is just crazy. But
it is, but it's because Carolina's so bad, though.
They give up 40 to anybody.
They're terrible.
I'm pretty sure we can line Tyler up at receiver. He'll go get 200 yards on him.
Right.
I played in high school.
Hey, I got you.
That's hard to win. But Carolina's offense, taking out their leading receiver, these are the kind of weird, strange parody games in the NFL where teams kind of get some luck going. The Bills had one of these. They lost their number 1 receiver, and parody reigns supreme in the NFL.
It does.
Keon Coleman stepped up. In this situation, you got a guy who's really coming on hot in the last couple of weeks, is Xavier Legette. If you've heard him give an interview, go ahead and take a look.
Yeah,
he has the deepest Southern accent you have ever seen.
Yeah, it's crazy. I covered him when was it 2 years ago? Notre Dame was down here playing South Carolina. In the Gator Bowl.
Yeah, he's a Gamecock.
And Notre Dame beat them. Go Irish. But but no, he's a talented guy. He's got some skills. If he gets a quarterback, he can be a dangerous receiver in this league. Absolutely.
For real. And Carolina's going back to Bryce Young this week. This is a change up. We have absolutely no idea what to expect from Carolina, but what we do know is these divisional teams prepare for each other pretty well. So
yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if you saw another 2-score spread end up in an upside down money line, because these divisional matchups are just so crazy. But I had a question for you guys. I know you both watch a lot of football. We've got half the season under our belts now. Now it's kind of a time to reflect in my eyes when I'm looking at, the NFL as a product. Because when I watch college football, it feels very natural. There's almost a nostalgic feeling watching college football now.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's like, wow, what a beautiful game. In the NFL, looking at some of these rule changes and half-ass rule changes, I haven't seen a hip drop tackle flag all year long. In every game, I'm seeing hip drop tackles with the guys swinging their body and clipping the legs and making contact and all these things. You have that. You have, the booth, the expedited review from booth, which I think is kind of a nice little thing. But, I think they get involved way too often. Like the Ravens game, they last week they overturned that beautiful catch on the sideline by Njoku. They said it was incomplete. To me, inside 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, you kind of got to let the guys play. If the coach wants to throw a flag. Then you have the kickoff, the totally new kickoff. There's so many new rule changes, and it's such a new look league. The NFL has a YouTube channel, and I watch the NFL's YouTube channel from time to time. And probably once a week, they'll post a game from the 90s. I watched the 1998, The Greatest Show on Turf, where it was the last time that in the NFL, the MVP and the Offensive Player of the Year were on the same team when they had Kurt Warner,
Marshall Faulk.
Yep. So I watched that. It was a playoff game against the Vikings, and it was like, wow, it was so nostalgic. I couldn't believe it. I almost, couldn't take my eyes off it. It was like, wow, this is real football. Guys are hitting.
Yeah.
The refs aren't involved every 3 seconds. Just give me y'all's feedback on what do you think about this new look NFL? Have you guys taken some time to kind of compare it to college, compare it to what we used to have? I mean, there used to be segments on NFL on ESPN called Jacked Up.
I knew exactly where you were going.
And we now it's like even the announcers who are former players, you see like a Kyle Hamilton hit one of the receivers from the Bengals.
That was clean though. That was clean. He put the shoulder in him.
K. Otten on the Buccaneers hit him clean,
Mm-hmm.
and the announcers were like, "Wow, where's the flag?"
So
and it's like, wow, like
bad.
these are former NFL guys. Like, what do you guys? What's y'all's feedback on this sort of new culture?
Okay, so I don't compare it to college, and I don't compare it to the old NFL very much. And the reason I don't compare it to the old NFL very much, it's not like basketball, right? I would be comparing it more if you saw these new age players and the new age NFL media constantly disrespecting the the past iterations of the NFL. But you don't see that, so there's no need for the comparison, right? College, the only comparison you need is just how will a player translate to coming out? How will a player translate to coming out into the NFL? Caller from Texas, I see you. When I get done with this call, you call us back, all right? But yeah, I think that's the only reason that you really need any comparison to college. College is its own thing. I less compare the NFL to college and college to the NFL, if you understand what I'm saying. And my biggest issue is I love the new playoff format, the 12 team expanded, but I hate the fact that it's determined by this committee crap, because there's too much politics there, and I'm not going to waste your time and get on the soapbox with that. But I love college football, man. I really do. I think it's amazing. And every Saturday I watch college football and I think, damn, I think college football is better than the NFL. And then on Sunday, I'm like, damn, no, I was wrong.
They got it right. They got it right.
It's back and right. It's back and forth each week for me. I love both of them for their own feelings that they give you as a football fan, and you just got to accept it for that.
Right.
And the last thing I'll say before I hand it over to Transformer, the reason we see such a different NFL now, they can keep giving us the crap about the player safety, but it's a couple things, right? They want offense because offense brings more. It brings more. What's the word I'm looking for? It brings more casual fans, right? It's more exciting.
More highlight.
Right, more highlight plays as well. So you got that. Offense does that. And then secondly, all these rules changes and whatnot, it's not because they care about the players. They just trying to avoid another big injury settlement. That's all that is. They don't want to be found responsible. And also in regards to that, they're thinking about the next generations, because when this whole CTE thing really blew up, they saw a market drop in suburban kids signing up to play football. Not in the South. In the South, they don't freaking care. Like doctors, lawyers, everybody have their kids playing football. Not my kid, but it's a real thing down here. Like culture completely overrides whatever we know about the safety of the game, right? So anyway, point I'm trying to make, in the rest of the country, in the suburbs, we saw a great deal of parents not allowing their kids to play, mostly suburban moms. So they're trying to present the game in a way that suburban moms will allow their children to play, thus allowing for the next generation of NFL players to develop and flourish and start playing from a younger age. And so I think that's why we're seeing so much of this. To me, the answer is simple. Freaking put the waiver in the contract that you know what you're signing up for. It's that simple. Absolutely. But
Absolutely.
That would be admitting that the game is inherently violent and dangerous, and they don't want to publicly do that. Transformer, I've been talking, man. Go ahead.
He said that all to say, Tyler, they pacifying the damn league.
Yes.
Yes. Hey, they're pacifying the league, right? If you go back and you just, you're looking at, the history of the NFL, it's a contact sport. It's blows on blows, it's body on body. We've been playing it in the schoolyard, sometimes on concrete, dirt, whatever the case may be, right? Now we're making it to where it's more pacified, but yet more electrifying for the offensive side of the ball, right? Mm-hmm. You don't want your biggest player, aka quarterback, to get hurt. So guess what? You're going to implement rules to where you can't touch them, right? And that causes it causes the numbers to get inflated. Bruce likes to make this comment a lot. The numbers get inflated for the quarterback, but then the receiver gets hurt. And you're like, okay, how did he get hurt? Okay, now we got to make sure that the quarterback is happy because he needs to have somebody to throw to these electrifying catches. OBJ, right? You want to see more of that electric pop, the electricity pop, from that standpoint. So in a way, the league is just making it to where it's offensive, but yet we're pacifying the players, we're pacifying the eyes of the fans, we're pacifying even the commentators. The commentators are now confused because what they're used to a certain thing, but now they have to reprogram everything. They get these set of rules during the off season, and you're looking at them like, okay, these are the rules. This is what they're doing, and then you see what's on the field, and you're like, well, wait, ain't that ain't that illegal or what or whatnot? Like, so what are we defining it as? So
they're being given the talking points as well, Transformer. Like they're being given the talking points from the league as well. Because once you're a commentator, they don't want them thinking like players anymore, other than to analyze the play, right? So now they're trained that any big hit is like, oh, where's the flag?
Well, where's the flag?
What?
Yeah.
Like, what are defenders supposed to do? But I'm sorry, I'm about
no. You're absolutely right. I do like that add-on. Everything is violent to them, right? But it's to us, man, who grew up playing it in the schoolyard, grew up playing it. I mean, it's contact sport. Man. There's nothing you can do about it, right? You can get hurt just by taking off for a sprint. Nico Collins has been out for 6-7 weeks because he took off on a go route and caught a touchdown pass to his hamstring, right? Like, what are we to do about that? It's a contact sport. You guys, and I like Bruce's point, sign a waiver or something, right? You could get hurt here, right? You can get hurt here. We've seen guys pass out on the basketball court, right? You can get hurt here. It's a collision sport, right?
Yes.
When two forces meet together to stop, right? It's collision.
That's right.
It's common sense. It's science. Right. So if you guys want to be all up in your arms about, oh, well, we got to soften the blow. It's science, bro. I can't stop. These guys are running at minimum 15 miles an hour at each other. At minimum. Right. You got some of these cats running 20 plus miles an hour, and then this other guy running 20 plus miles an hour the other direction. What is your expectation that's going to happen when these two guys collide, right? Now, as a defender, I got to think like, well, I can't hit him too high. I can't hit him too low. I got to hit him here. But guess what? As a receiver, you're like, okay, well, I need to duck, right? So I'm making myself smaller. So now, defender, what the hell am I going to hit?
Right. So now they're expecting defenders to defy the laws of physics.
Like, what am I supposed to hit if you're ducking your head?
Right.
And I'm trying to get you here.
I lined up the perfect target point in the strike zone with a perfect form tackle. But now at the last second, like you said, the receiver, the offensive player, crunches up to absorb that hit. And now I hit you in your head, and now it's a foul on me. Come on, man. Yeah, it's absurd.
I mean, you can't hit him too high, you can't hit him too low. But if you hit him right in the abdomen, you got to make sure you don't land on them with your body.
That too.
I can't land on them.
Again, they expect defenders to defy the laws of physics. It's crazy.
I mean, you understand these quarterbacks are like 6'4", 6'5", 200.
Big boys.
Most of these dudes are big dudes. Yes.
Usually quarterbacks are the best athletes their whole entire life. Everybody they've been around. They put the best athlete as quarterback, Pop Warner, and it just goes from there. You're saying, I got to be able to get this guy to the ground. I mean, look, we saw Mahomes against the Raiders. He went to okey doke. He went to act like he was about to step out of bounds, cut up field, and went for 30 yards. And the defender was like, what am I supposed to do? If he's essentially acting like he's going to go out of bounds, then he cuts up field, or if he trucks me or whatever, I'm not going to get trucked. What do I look like getting ran over?
Right.
That's what happened.
Like that. San Fran.
Yeah, San Fran. He ran over this guy who looks like he's cut from granite, but it's because he was pulling up to not hit Mahomes. Because if you hit him, they'll put you in jail. I'm almost at this point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it's
a couple more things.
Brady
what you got, Tom? is a really decent announcer. Some people are frying Brady, which I don't mind. I don't like him, but
he's gotten better and better. He was terrible at first. He's gotten better though.
Yeah, he's gotten decent. But one of the things he said, I was watching a game of his that he was announcing. He said, he can't believe how soft the league has gotten, and they're overprotecting guys. When I was a quarterback,
Stop.
It's like, Tom, this is all because of you.
Yes.
It's all because of you.
They stopped because of you.
And then my last thing before I let y'all take the next caller is I got an idea for a podcast. We need to do the Chappelle Show Player Haters Ball. Get you on here to talk about Tatum. We need to get you here to talk about LeBron. I mean, let's just have a Player Haters Ball and let everybody call in.
Man.
I like how he didn't mention me because there's no hate in my blood.
Okay, all right.
There's no hate in my blood. You know what I mean?
Do you want to hear my players call? I said, do you want to hear my players call? Hello, LeBron. What's up? You can't call nobody. Oh, that's a good idea.
I was watching. And also, guys, I put the that link I was talking about to that Rams Vikings 1999 game. I put that in the comments.
Nice.
If anybody's interested, I think it's like such a great watch. It's 2 hours and 47 minutes. It's like something it's Randy Moss is playing with. I mean, we got like this is such a great game to go back and reminisce on. Dick Vermeil, all these guys are coaching. It's so great. But y'all have a great night. I'm gonna keep on watching, but I know you got other calls.
Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate that, man.
Hey, man, salute. Take care of that baby.
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. All right, caller from Texas, area code 832. Go ahead and call us back. We will wait before we move on so we can hear from you specifically. I saw you try to get in twice. Caller from Texas, area code 832. Call us back.
Tried to get in twice.
All right, come on, man. Yeah, all right, I slipped.
Boy,
oh my goodness.
That was just unnecessary.
It was my bad. You're a wild dude, man.
Hey, man, I hear it. I mean, even though I hate it, man, I kind of hate. We can't say anything no more, man.
Can't say
it's like
anything.
you gotta be in the line of context matters. You know what I'm saying?
Context does matter.
We're losing the word, like the term context. Like, yeah, man, we was outside, bro, and we was just throwing some balls around. Like, man, boy, you was throwing some balls around. Wait, what? I'm actually throwing. You see me with the throwing motion. What are you talking about? I thought you were just out there talking about you throwing some balls around. Now they changed up your whole freaking what you were doing. Like I was throwing a football. Whatever, bro.
Right. Like, come on, man. You know what I was talking about when I said that. Stop it. Oh my goodness.
No, well, man, we couldn't of course these games are coming up on now. Lakers are just lost, and I didn't even know Boston was losing. I wasn't even looking at the scores, but really wasn't no heavy NBA topics. I think we'll probably pick back up on Saturday. Get a few more games going. I know they had a conversation about the NBA. I think it was last Saturday. You guys ended up having a good segment about what was going on in the league. So we'll pick it back up Saturday. Like I said, we had a lot of things going on today, and we definitely wanted to get the pick'ems out to you guys. Talk a little football as we get ready for tomorrow night. So yeah.
Yeah, he is.
Boston is going. Boston only down 12. Boston down 12 for 4 minutes ago. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, with the way they shoot threes nowadays. Yeah. Caller from Texas, area code 832. Did you leave us? I think that might have been Laro.
Possibly.
I think he said something about my Texans. So I think that might have been him. He might have rolled out though when he didn't get through.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll move on.
My bad. Yeah. Let's do that. All right. Dak Prescott. We will move right along. All right. So here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. You want me to do this, or you want to take this?
Go away.
All right.
Take
so
it
here's
away,
the deal,
brother.
right? I've had this discussion / argument, whatever, with a couple of different friends and groups that I talk sports with, right? With whom I talk sports, I should say. And so we have this Dak Prescott thing. And as we know, it was a big point of contention the last time he got a contract, because Jerry Jones always kind of waits till the last minute to pay these guys. And then Dak Prescott ended up being the highest paid player in NFL history. I didn't like it then. And Dak finishes out his contract last year, second team All-Pro. So I got to give him credit where it's due. And then goes ahead and, okay, we'll talk about that. But his contract comes up this year again. And I'm thinking Jerry finally has wised up, because Dak in 8 years in the league only has 2 playoff wins, never gotten you past the divisional round. So I'm like, okay, he's wised up. He's going to really put Dak's feet to the fire and make him prove something this year, or let him walk at the end of the year, or accept whatever it is Jerry's going to offer. Because that's what I've been saying. Make a reasonable offer, but tell him, hey, you can go out there and check it, because I don't believe anyone is going to, well, you don't say it to him, but Jerry, I'm sure, wouldn't believe that anyone was going to give Dak $60 million a year. I sure as hell wouldn't have, and he doesn't deserve it. But anyway, Jerry Jones ends up caving as usual, giving Dak everything he wants because Dak already had a no trade, he had a no franchise tag clause, and those are the two big ones. So he ends up giving him the new deal, and the new deal has Dak Prescott at 4 years, $240 million, the richest contract in history, with total guarantees of $231 million and fully guaranteed, which is money guaranteed at signing, of $129 million and an $80 million signing bonus. So he basically breaks everything, right? He's got the average salary, which is the highest ever, of $60 million. So Jerry, you know, I don't know what he was waiting for. But anyway, the point is this, right? Dak Prescott is a very good quarterback. I am not saying Dak Prescott is a bum. He's a very good quarterback, but he's never going to get you where you need to be. And so I've been banging the table the whole time. Don't pay him, Jerry. Don't pay him. And people's, why are you in that man pocket? Why are you pocket watching? Why you don't want him to get paid? It's not, I don't want him to get paid. And I keep saying this. I'm not against guys getting paid. I'm about guys getting paid for what they demonstrate, not this wherever the market is. That's not good. The NFL model of you're up next so you get paid more is faulty, right? So you look at a guy like Dak Prescott. This is from last year when the Green Bay Packers, with a first-year starter at quarterback, walked into Dak's house and ate his lunch, right? Now,
dinner.
People are going to say, thank you, Transformer. The Packers absolutely smoked these dudes. Now, the score didn't look so bad at the end, but guess what? Empty calories, right? He got a bunch of empty calories to try to bring this game back. But people are going to say, Cowboys fans are going to say, and the mainstream sports media, pro Cowboys, are going to say, well, the defense didn't show up for the Cowboys. And that's absolutely true. But what do I always say? In a situation where the defense doesn't show up, if you're that guy and you're that quarterback, you are supposed to turn the game into a
shootout.
Thank you. You're supposed to turn the game into a damn shootout. You're supposed to give your team every opportunity to have success. Instead, Dak is out here throwing pick sixes and interceptions in the playoffs. Bad freaking look. So they pay this guy all this money. And what have we seen from Dak Prescott this year? Well, the Odd Couple on Monday night was actually discussing Dak Prescott. And this is what kind of led me to thinking that we needed to discuss this topic. One, because I love being right, and I've been saying it for like the past 2 years. Don't do it. And Jerry did it anyway. But let's hear what the Odd Couple, Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington, and their producer, Rob G, had to say about Dak Prescott. And then we'll come back. I'll get Transformers' thoughts, and we'll go on from there.
Okay. So it's a tale of two Daks. There you go. See what I did there?
Dak. Right. Dak.
It's a brother.
So last season, in a contract year, Dak Prescott had the best year of his career.
Balled out, right?
All pro, 36 touchdowns, 9 picks. He was doing everything that you'd want in a franchise quarterback.
I hate the thing that they say he was second in MVP voting because Lamar got all the first place votes except for one. So was he really second?
Somebody got
to finish second, bro. You're running a race. Even if by Usain Bolt you still were there.
And as Dub mentioned, he's already got 8 interceptions this season in less than half a year. So it's not looking good for Dak, but it gets worse. This season, fresh off an all-pro year last year and the richest contract in NFL history. Through, week 8 now. He's 23rd in completion percentage, 22nd in passing yards per attempt, 25th in TD and interception ratio, 24th in passer rating. So to say that he's fallen off a cliff would be an understatement.
And the thing, when you watch him, if it ain't CD, it ain't happening. That's the thing. You see he had a couple of touchdowns, the ones that he threw this week, and it just, you see, they're so reliant upon him that if it ain't working, they can't get him going, then there's nothing really there.
So imagine that. You hear how low he is among starting quarterbacks and all these important metrics. And this is the guy you just gave everything to. Like, I don't get it. Like, it's so hard to pay a guy for having a crazy year in a contract year. How many times do we see that across multiple sports, that dudes are in their contract year
and they go
ham? Thank you.
Yep.
They go ham, they ball out to get paid. And then it's like, okay, what now? You know what I'm saying? They come back and it's like, I got my money, I'm good. You can't do anything about it. Fire the coach, do something else. But I'm going to stop talking. I've been talking about this for a minute. Transformer, I would love to get your thoughts on this Dak Prescott situation and what we have and have not seen from him this year.
I would love for you to give me more ammunition to talk about. I mean, you were on the money, brother. You on the money. I've been saying it
Yes, you
all
have.
season, man. It's been saying it since last year.
Mm-hmm.
Been saying it since the year before, and then the year before, right? Before I even was so graciously being able to join this podcast with you. Dak Prescott without a run game is below average. Dak Prescott without a run game is below average. When you put the football in Dak Prescott's hands to go win you the football game, he will fold. He will throw a pick. He will fumble it, or he just won't get it done, right? It's proof after, what's this, 8 seasons in the NFL, and we keep seeing the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Yet Jerry said, pay the man. I don't get it, man. Jerry said, pay the man. And since you've paid him, Dallas Cowboys are now a whopping 3-4 in their division. A whopping 3-4 in their division. Let's look at what their losses came to. The Saints in week 2, Ravens in week 3, Lions in week 6, 49ers in week 7. The teams that you did beat, let's count them out. The Browns, the Doodle Browns in week 1, the Giants in week 4, and you just got by the Steelers in week 5. Yeah. So you honestly only have one game on that schedule where it was against a quality team. Mind you, that team also had Justin Fields, so they couldn't really score, threaten you to score. Game was 20-17. Other than that, when it becomes a competition, bro, you fold. The Saints were competition. This was before Derek Carr got hurt. You got blown out.
Yep.
The Ravens, you were getting blown out, and then the Ravens kind of let up a little bit. Yep. And that's when we had that conversation. But you were getting blown out. But yet that chase down, that comeback, we're talking about, hey, look, hey man, Dak Prescott did what he was supposed to do. Did you watch the football game?
Nope.
Because he put him in the hole. Where were these yards? Where were these touchdowns in the first, second, third quarter? Not when you're down 15, right? You look at the Lions. You got blown out by 47-9. You look at the 49ers. You were getting blown out. I think it was 30-10 or 29 or 27-10. I think it was 27-10 before you made this comeback and made it look like it's closer, because now the score ends at 30-24, right? It's the same thing over and over and over, man. The man doesn't have a run game. So guess what? Dak Prescott is back to below average, right? He's back to that 4th or 5th round pick that you guys got from Mississippi State. That's what he is. But you paid him. Jerry paid him, bro. Hey, look, I laughed when he did it. I can remember when I saw the tweet come through my phone from Ian Rappaport, and I immediately sent it to you. I wanted to be a fly on the wall when you read it. I wanted to be a fly on the wall to be like, God, are you serious? Serious?
Yeah.
To see you discuss, man. But it's just overall bad, man. I mean, Jerry, I'll be honest to say, I think he's losing all mental control or mental stability to be able to run that franchise. He said something that was bonkers. I heard Stephen A. On one of the ESPN shows talking about it, and he literally was making comments about how NFL contracts are like scholarships for college, and players receive 4 to 5 scholarships. We're like, what? Like, it's just like he's starting to not even make sense anymore, right? Like, not only are you not making the correct decisions for your football team, but now you're going out here making just outlandish or just kind of scratch your head moment kind of statements, and we're like, Jerry, what the hell are you talking about? Right? So yeah, I mean, you're right, man. I had nothing else to go on but the fact that they're 3-4 and they play the Falcons and possibly could be 3-5, play the Eagles, they could possibly be 3-6, they could play the Texans and be 3-7, they could play the Commanders and be 3-8, they could beat the Giants to be 4-8, and then at that point, it's curtains. It's curtains. So go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. And I think to the point, and I think we talked about it on this show, Jerry loves the show more than he loves trying to win. He loves the show of everybody in the NFL media discussing it all summer. What's he gonna do about CeeDee Lamb? What's he gonna do about Dak Prescott? Like that's the issue that we have. You know what I'm saying? And he loves the attention more than he loves trying to win. And so it's just coming back to bite him. This is what he gets because winning is clearly not important, despite what he says. He doesn't demonstrate it. So it is what it is, Come on, Tyler. Come on. Stop. So here's the deal. Pat Mahomes, yes, he might be 23rd in QBR this year, right? And Dak's got him in some key categories. But guess what? Let's keep this simple. If there's a game on the line or a big game to play, period, there's no way you can tell me, no matter what the stats and the metrics are, that you're taking Dak Prescott over Patrick Mahomes. There is no way. There's no way. I know you know sports better than that. You've made that clear to us many times. There's
Tyler,
no
do
way.
you know who number one in the NFL in quarterback rating is in the fourth quarter?
Boom. Tell him.
Patrick Mahomes.
Tell him.
So that's the separator, right? That's the separator. When shit hits the fan, Patrick Mahomes is that guy, right?
Get him.
There's a game that needs to get beat. Patrick Mahomes is going to deliver. We've seen that countless amount of times. When you're like, okay, man, there's no way this game is done. People walk off the field literally thinking like, man, okay, we did it. I leave the field. We got to lead. Defense, go do your job. Pat literally drinks a beer. All right.
Let's go get it.
Goes out there and go get it done. Every time he freaking he lets the opposing quarterback sit on the sideline and watch his team lose the game.
That's right.
He's made it. He's done it over and over. Dak Prescott literally
in the Super Bowl.
He's done it twice in the Super Bowl, but he makes his like Dak Prescott in the fourth quarter just makes the quarterback to the other side like he's doing this again. This is a blowout, man. He's doing this again. Like, come on, man. Yeah. Just take it L like a man, bro. Now you got to make it look like it was close. You know what I mean? Fluff your stats a little bit. That's what he does, man. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, no. So Bruce actually said earlier, he said a while back in the chat, he believes that what's happening here is that, and we're missing that. He believes that the Cowboys are trying to put themselves in position to draft Shedeur Sanders. Now, I have no issue with that. Shedeur is clearly far and away, in my estimation, the best quarterback in this draft. Far and away. But that's a different story. My thing is this. They're not trying to draft Shedeur Sanders for what? How long is he going to sit when Dak is making $60 million a year? Like you
just got it too.
Just got it. That's a 4-year deal. So it's going to be at least 3 years before you can get out from under that. Shadeur's not sitting for 3 years. So it doesn't even make sense. You don't do that. I can't see it. I could be wrong, but I cannot see that.
I don't think Deion lets that happen. He's not going to let that happen. He's not going to let his son get signed and sit for 3 years. Like, nah, bro. Nah, you see my kid in college? He was like, nah, you can sit at Anthony Richardson for 3 years. You know what I mean?
Right. Tyler, you wild, man. Look, here's the deal, Tyler. Look, Lamar is great, but Ric Flair said something, 35, 40 years ago. To be the man, you got to beat the man. And so there's no hoping the man retires or the man goes away. You got to beat the man. So,
and this man is young too. That's what's even more scary.
Anybody who wants it is going to have to go through Mahomes. Pause. That's what you're going to have to do. I mean, plain and simple. He's the man right now. He's never not played in a conference final game in the playoffs.
That's insanity.
That is insane. That is. And so that's no shot at Lamar or anybody else. But you're going to have to beat this guy if you want the chip. That's all. And to me,
don't let up.
That's competition, man. That creates better competition. So I love it.
Yeah. And don't go up 10. That man's favorite number is 10. Don't go up 10 on Patrick Mahomes. For some odd reason, he sees 10 and he goes from 10 to 1,000 because he's like, okay, we down 10, say less. We're winning this game. You know that, right? I think Jordan said used to say this. He'll be in the middle of the game. Oh yeah, I want to see y'all talk shit when you're down, right? He's like, yeah, it's all good to talk shit when you're up, right? I think he had a bat in his hand. I don't know what game. I think it was an all-star game or something.
Yeah,
he had a bat in his hand. It's like, he was like, it's different when folks talk shit when they up, right? Like it's when you talk shit when you're down. That's what scares
That's a
folks.
fact.
And they come back and they do it. That's Pat.
Mm-hmm.
Pat's the one that's like, "Oh, we down 10? Say less, fam."
That's
Y'all, now y'all want to play. All right, here we go.
Right. You're right.
Know, that dude's crazy, man. That team is crazy from top to bottom. Like, bro, it's like they can't miss. When you think that team has a flaw, they fix it immediately, like right there in your face. And you're like, damn, I thought they had a secondary issue. Well, no, they fixed that. Oh, man, I thought they had a defensive tackle issue. No, Chris Jones, they fixed that. I thought they had a running back issue. No, Pacheco freaking went back in the trash and got back Kareem Hunt, man. They fixed that.
They fixed that.
Receiver issue. Like, damn, pick one. Give me something to work with. And folks fix it, bro.
No doubt.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to put the number in the chat, 904-219-8264, 904-219-8264. I'm going to open up the lines now, and anybody who wants to call in, give your thoughts on Dak Prescott and this ridiculous contract he got and the fact that he is clearly not living up to it. I want to hear your thoughts, or maybe you call me a Dak hater. I don't know. I've heard that too, but I don't know how. I'm just telling the truth, but I have heard that. So give me a call, 904-219-8264. It's in the chat and also scrolling on the bottom of your screen.
You know why no one will call you a Dak hater?
Oh, no, I've been called that, man.
But you know why nobody will call you that now? Like now, right? Because even the Dallas Cowboy fans are tired of it. I have a lot of Dallas Cowboy family members, friends, and literally they are tired of it. My little brother, John, my man said, bro, call me when we change our coach or Jerry Jones goes away.
Right.
Just like, don't tag me in nothing, Dallas. He don't want to hear it. It's it's still DCFL, Dallas Cowboy for like whatever they want to call it. Dallas Cowboy for life, right? But and like, man, don't text me about nothing. Don't call me about nothing. We're just tired, bro. We're tired of Dak Prescott because everything we've been saying over the years is just coming to light, right? You take one game away from him. What is he? He's CeeDee Lamb dependent. When CeeDee Lamb is not there, who else is he? What else can he do? Right? He's not going out there scrambling, making plays, right? Nope. In the fourth quarter, he's already down 15-20, so he's trying to make a comeback. When the defense is at its softest point, because as a defender, you're playing 7 to 10 yards off the football because you're not nothing cheap, nothing deep, right? Like, so I'm not gonna let you go over the top, right? So, yeah, man, no.
Quick note, man. I wish G was here for this one. I just pulled up that the Celtics game here, and Tatum's got 36. He's 10 for 23. I don't know why he's 5 for 16 from three. Man, chill with the damn threes. But anyway. Jaylen Brown is Mr. Brown. He's 11 for 28 and 1 for 10 from three. Interesting. Anyway, not that I'm taking shots at Mr. Brown. I love that guy. He's my brother. But that said, we gotta but we gotta stop this nonsense that Mr. Brown carries Tatum and all this other foolishness. But whatever. Let's see. QBs are hard to get, even if Dak's caliber. I could see teams come calling if Dak wears out his welcome in Dallas this year. Really? Who's clearing out $60 million a year for this dude? But
Raiders.
I wouldn't. He's in his 8th year. I just drafted Shedeur Sanders.
True. If you don't get it. If you don't get the pick.
You make a deal to get the pick.
I'm just saying, but the team in front of me may want Shedeur. So they're not going to trade him. I think the only team that is allowed to trade Shedeur is New England right now.
Right, because
they got Drake May. Like, I think Drake May is going to be a good quarterback, right? So
too, but they got to give him some help. They got to figure that out.
They need to trade that back and get multiple picks. So if you're not trading, if it's not New England at the number 1 pick, I mean, they're probably looking at it like, damn, we might as well go get Dak Prescott and see what we got. Got Brock Bowers, let's go get it. Let's go draft a receiver or something. Who knows? Yeah. Who
knows? All right, brother. So let's do this. Looks like we're not going to see any calls on this topic. That's okay. So let's go. We got a bonus topic here that we hadn't planned on discussing. As you can see, Dak was the second and final, item on the rundown tonight. But we got one more for you that we wanted to talk about in terms of these quarterbacks. Bruce brought up AR5, Anthony Richardson, and his interesting comments after the game last week. So go ahead, Transformer, take off with this.
So basically, we know what we're going to talk about was does the NFL have a quarterback development problem? And my answer is immediately yes, right? In such retrospect, you look at, guys like Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Will Levis, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, Kenny Pickett. These guys were all drafted in the top 5, the top 10 range, right?
Mm-hmm.
And most of them were projects. But all of these projects, with the exception of
Fields wasn't a project.
Yeah, with the exception of Fields, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these guys were projects drafted super, super high and were immediately thrown to the wolves. Into the fire, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you look at this, all these players were benched. Anthony Richardson is 22 years old, benched. Bryce Young, 23 years old, benched. Trey Lance, 24 years old, benched. Justin Fields, 25, benched. Different story on his end, but yet he was still benched.
Mm-hmm.
Will Levis, 25, benched. Zach Wilson, 25, benched. Mac Jones, 26, benched. Kenny Pickett is 26 and benched. All of them are benched, but all of them were top 10 drafted picks, right? Anthony Richardson, what I saw from him in Florida, I didn't really see a thing but a big, strong quarterback who had great ability to run the football, right? If you're a Florida Gator fan, I'm not. I did watch Florida games and I thought Anthony Richardson could have been an exciting player.
Mm-hmm.
His ability to read the field, read defenses, it wasn't there.
Mm-mm.
And we credit that he only played 7-8 games. But even in that retrospect, it wasn't there. He goes on the combine and he shows off his athleticism. Bravo to Anthony Richardson, shows off his athleticism. But then if you're an NFL GM, quarterbacks coach, president, whatever the case may be, of said team that is looking at Anthony Richardson, your mindset should have went that, hey, this kid has a lot of talent. What happens to these days? We're like, that kid has a lot of talent. He's just not polished, right? A lot of talent, just needs to nurture that talent, right? They threw that man right into the wolves and let that man start the football game. Now we're looking back at his production on the football field, and it is by far one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL right now.
Mm-hmm.
By far one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL right now. But now, year number 2, you have a guy like Joe Flacco, Super Bowl, got his bread, 39 years old or 40? Is he in his 40s?
I don't think he's 40 yet. Let's see.
Okay, well, you got a 39, 40-year-old Joe Flacco who's been to the pinnacle of success in the NFL by going to win a Super Bowl with the Baltimore Ravens, right?
Super Bowl MVP as well.
Super Bowl MVP.
Right.
He wasn't Trent Dilfer out here just riding the coattails of the Steelers, right? Edward Jackson. But he actually, when shit hit the fan in the playoffs, that man had one of the greatest playoff runs I've ever seen in the NFL on that side of the football. But you have him 39 years old. Okay, 39 years old. So you have him. You just saw what Joe Flacco got off his couch last year and did with the Cleveland Browns.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the Indianapolis Colts, your mindset should have been like, okay, look, we have Anthony Richardson, the future of our team. Didn't look too good last year, had a season-ending injury. We sat him out the rest of the year. While he's sitting, bring in Joe Flacco, show the kid the ropes, Super Bowl MVP. What does this kid need to learn? Show him how to read pockets, read defenses. Stop relying on stop relying on your athleticism to go make a play. Eventually, son, you're gonna have to sit in that pocket. You got to learn how to read a safety. Read what that linebacker's calling. When that defensive line shifts to the right, okay, they might be blitzing you to the right. You might want to call it, might want to check it, right? And I think that's what our lack of coaching, lack of development for NFL quarterbacks is getting to. We're getting these projects, right? Like, okay, they look good. Bryce Young played for Bama, SEC, went to the national championship. But guess what? Man measured in probably one of the smallest quarterbacks we've ever seen in NFL. Well, guess what? Let's draft him to the Carolina Panthers. We got no receivers, no Chubbard, Cuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard.
I said it backwards. Chuba Hubbard good enough quarterback. Now, I mean, good enough running back now, but we got no defense, no defensive weapons, no identity. Let's go out here and see what this kid can do. No. Guys, I'm a Green Bay Packer fan.
I
witnessed
going there.
3 of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history. I mean, I'm prematurely saying putting Jordan Love in that category, but 2 of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history on my franchise in back-to-back times. Now I'm looking at another possible great quarterback in Jordan Love. All we did, draft him, let him sit, let him learn. Aaron Rodgers, 2 years after starting, Super Bowl MVP. Jordan Love, first year starting, beats the brakes off the Dallas Cowboys in the first round, becoming one of the youngest teams in NFL history to win a playoff game. Right? They did that. We saw that because it took development and it took time. But I'm gonna go and get off my soapbox. I've been ranting for a little while. What do you think about the NFL and its quarterback development as of today, Bruce?
Transformer, I think you're 1,000% right in everything that you stated in terms of what should be done, right? I will say, though, that you have the benefit of looking at it from up close and personal as a Packers fan and seeing how, when it's done properly, and obviously you have to draft well also, but you draft well and then you let a guy sit there for a couple of years, marinate and learn, right? But the thing is this, I can't understand why these owners are so anxious to get these guys out there, because very few of them are truly ready to go out of the box like that. And even if it's not like there's not a rookie salary cap. So it's not like they're getting a Sam Bradford deal. And you're like, man, I'm paying all this money. You better get out of there and show me something, right? But no, these guys aren't making that kind of money anymore as rookies, right? So I don't believe, in my estimation, that unless that player is truly, truly special, and even sometimes back in the day when a player was truly special, you still let him sit that first year. And again, because speed of the game, how to read those defenses, how to be a professional, all that stuff matters. And you can learn that stuff, especially like, okay, for instance, Bo Nix has the most starts of any quarterback in history, right? In college. It's like 65 starts or something crazy like that. So he comes into the league.
And then Oregon.
Right. So he's already an older guy. He's married. He's got you would assume, some level of maturity. He's played a ton of games. He's seen a ton of defenses. So maybe we can say, all right, cool. But to the point of an Anthony Richardson, this guy started 6 games in college. Yes, we know the physical traits are elite, but what has he shown you to make him think that you should dump him in to the NFL fire right away? It just wasn't time. And too many owners and coaches are making this move. Now, I think at the same time, coaches, right? Because if you're the head coach of a team that drafted first overall or drafted very high, that means that's a bad team. That means your job is likely on the hot seat. And so what do you think? Okay, we got this young hotshot quarterback. We need to get him out there, save my job, right? No. Coach better, right? Coach better. Work with your GM to develop that roster and do everything you can. But you can't just throw this young guy. I mean, I guess you can. We've been seeing it, but you shouldn't just throw this young guy out there in efforts to save your job. And I think that's unfortunately a big part of it. Yeah. That coaches on bad teams are trying to save their jobs, so they're throwing these young fellas into the fire. And so you look at it, and it's just tough, man, because we're seeing too many of these guys just not ready. If we're real, I don't even think Caleb is ready, and they called him a generational talent. I think he could have benefited from sitting a year. I really do. Yeah. So, there's a lot of guys. But then what happens is these owners and coaches see what CJ Stroud did last year, and they think that can be the regular instead of the anomaly, and they get impatient, and they try to create another one of those. And those don't grow on trees. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
very, very, very few far in between do you see a top 5, top 10 quarterback go to a place where there's weapons. There's an offensive line. Those are the 2 key pieces if you're having that thought process of starting your rookie quarterback. Offensive line, why? You want to protect your future asset that you just drafted, right? Give him that time in the pocket. Because what do NFL players say the first thing that changes from college to NFL?
Speed of the game.
Speed of the game.
Yes.
The speed of the game drastically changes. So guess what? You give him an offensive line to help him with that speed, because now, okay, instead of that 1.5 seconds that you're getting with a trash O-line in Carolina, okay, that 3.5 is completely different. Allows me at least get to my third read and me understand what I'm looking at, right? You know what I mean? So CJ Stroud was in a better position. Dude, I mean, he had a better run game, had a better team, had some better receivers that was over there. Nico Collins, Tank Dell. Those were some solid receivers, solid weapons to throw the ball to. And the offensive line was a whole lot better than that, right? But, you know, when you, or for example, Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy was the last pick in the NFL draft. But guess what? He went to a team that had everything for him, right? At that point, and at the same time, he still sat for a little minute. Got a chance to understand it. Let me watch it. Cool. Got in the game. He was able to see it. He was able to feel it. Then he had the weapons to help him. He had the offensive line to help him. So that situation is completely different. We're literally throwing these other kids into the fire. Like, man, go out, Bryce Young, go out there and figure it out. You're not only the smallest quarterback in the draft, right? But we got no O-line. We got no receivers to help you. We got no defense to, you know, keep you, you know, to help keep you out of there. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. Bruce says Jaden Daniels crushing that myth. I would assume he
means Jaden Daniels is 24.
I was just about to say, right. He's 23. I was just about to say that. He's 24 in mid-December. I think he started almost 50 games in college. So Jaden Daniels, again, the experience is there. Having seen multiple defenses is there. Also playing for a professional head coach. Remember, at Arizona State, he played under Herman Edwards. So he's been around pros. He knows what it is. So again, more so the anomaly than the regularity. You know what I'm saying? So like we got to look at it and say, yeah, that's probably not a great example. And that's not moving the goalpost. That's just explaining it. Steve says earlier that they're not getting the quarterbacks are not getting developed properly in college because of a lot of gadget spread offenses, and I get it. But I don't knock coaches at all who try to bring in some of what that quarterback ran in college, right? Because what you want to do, you don't want to completely revamp the offense and make it the college offense. No, but you want to bring some of it to ease that transition for said quarterback if they're going to start right away, right? So you give them some things that they're comfortable with, that they know they can process and deal with quickly. And you know, obviously if it works within your system. So you bring some of that in to ease the transition, say, okay, we got some of this that you used to do, and now we will take you from there into the way we do it here in the pros. And so I think that's what they're doing, not necessarily just to appease the quarterbacks, but to ease the transition of the quarterbacks. That's my thought.
No, I mean, and back to Jaden Daniels, Bruce. I was just explaining, not you, Bruce. I'm Bruce. Chat Bruce. We got to give this man a nickname.
I know, right?
I mean, same team. I mean, you know, it's a little tough. But anyway, Chat Bruce. To my point about Jaden Daniels, not only is he older, but he also has the weapons in front of him, right? You give him a solid offensive line. You give him the reps, you know, McLaurin, Scary Terry over there. Yep. You give him the run game.
And
that's behind him.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, so that, like I said, that gives him that ability to sit back, and now it eases that transition to like, okay, look, I have experience being the guy at the helm for, you know, 3-4 seasons at a time, right? Anthony Richardson didn't have that. Man had 6 games in college, right? He'd even make it a whole season in the collegiate level, yet we're starting him in the professional level, right? Where these dogs get paid out there to hunt. You know what I mean? You know, these guys, you know, got to go home and feed the family. So yeah, that's a little different when you're saying Jaden Daniels is crushing that myth. You know, he's already about to be 24 years old, Bubba. 24 years old, and that team is primed and ready for him to take over. But yeah, but no, more so, like I said, that's just pretty much it's going to be kind of crazy, you know, the direction of, you know, where they go, because now you have one of the analysts, you know, as in Tom Brady, who most consider the greatest quarterback of all time. Now he's on that Sunday Night Football talk, to where he's even mentioned a lot, and I think, the thing the NFL does, they listen to Tom Brady. Like, well, Tom is saying it. Well, Tom also did sit, right? And Tom ended up being the greatest quarterback of all time. Who are we calling the baby goat? Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes did sit. Now we're considering him one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. Look at Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. He did sit. Now, 2 MVPs, possibly looking at a third one. I think he should share that with Derrick Henry if he does get it. But, it takes a little bit of time, and it needs a little bit more development from these quarterbacks, especially if they're projects like Anthony Richardson. I handle Anthony Richardson because of what just happened recently. The man checked out of the game because he was tired. He was exhausted.
Man, that was bad.
Yeah, he checked out of the game because he's exhausted. Like, bro, first of all, one, you just got back 2 games ago, right, from the hip injury that he tried to go out there and force himself to say. But, you're going to check out, I think it was 3rd and goal, I believe, and, tell him you were exhausted. I can't go out there. I can't stay out there. Like, come on, man.
Yeah. Who was it said? Was it Cam Newton? Who was it said? Oh, Michael Parsons on his podcast said he should have just lied. He should have lied.
My hip hurt.
His leg, his ribs, something. But you can't do that. Yeah, because he now has lost the respect of his team. So bad luck.
Jameis MVP. Hey man, Jameis did play a great game. I need you to spell his name right though. You're a Browns fan, Steve. You gotta do better than that. Jameis MVP. Like you had a belt put on by the Cleveland. That's fine. We can't win them all, brother. Hey, I looked at the stat line. Hey, nobody showed up but Braun and AD.
Celtics lost tonight too to the Pacers.
Oh, they did? And that game ended?
135-132. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I saw it was in overtime last time I checked.
Damn. Stop with the damn threes, man. But
that's a lot of threes. Tatum took 18 threes?
But that's the way the Celtics play, but I still don't like it. But anyway, we'll talk about basketball another night. But good win for the Pacers, man. They needed that, and that was a good win for them. So, yeah.
18 threes. Steph don't even do that. Steph got to be crazy hot to get that many.
I'm sure that some of those ended up coming towards the end of the game, fourth quarter and OT. I'm sure. Let's see. Ghostface Gaming. What's going on, Ghostface Gaming? I think I've seen you here before. If not, make sure you hit that like and subscribe, man. Let's see. We're going to go 5-12 this year, get a top 5 draft pick. We're going to trade up for Shadur Sanders, fire McCarthy, and it.
Boy, you wishing upon a hell of stars with this.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You got a hell of a plan here. How's that happening? How is that happening?
One, as long as Jerry's there, Prime is not touching that freaking team.
Thank you.
Prime is not doing that. Jerry's still there. Nah. Nope. Jerry was a pass and hand on to his sons.
No way.
Then Prime would definitely consider it. I mean, I think you would consider a lot of players and teams, former coaches and stuff like that to go coach for that team. But no, Jerry's there. Prime he ain't touching that team.
Correct.
He's not touching that team.
That is correct. But
I don't care. Who would they coach be? Who would you go after at this point? Bill Belichick? I don't think Bill wants that.
So you know what I would say why Belichick could be a good fit is because he don't have to say much, and Jerry is obsessed with the media attention.
Yeah,
Belichick would be like, "Go talk to Jerry." You know what I'm saying? Like that's what he would say.
I'm X's and O's, baby. In locker room, that's it.
That's right. So
you want a contract? Go talk to him.
Go talk to him.
Don't even bring that contract stuff to me.
We're on the Washington.
We came in. We're playing, and I don't know if Tom's gonna get paid. Did you talk to Tom? Probably talk to Tom. Wait, what? We were talking to you, Coach.
We're on in New York.
It's not my money. I've already got paid.
I don't know anything about Snapface or InstaChat.
Snapface or InstaChat was crazy.
Remember they was asking about the social media joint? My bad.
Come on. Bill, you know the name of that joint, man. You ain't gotta play us like that.
But he looked so serious when he was up there. Oh my god.
Snapface and InstaChat.
So serious. He looked so serious.
Bill, you don't live in a box, man. You got kids, bro.
Facts. Well, his kids are grown though, so you don't have little.
They up there.
Yeah, but it is what it is. But I guess we go ahead and we call it right now. This was a quick 2 hours. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. But we'll be back for you. We'll be back with you all Saturday night, and we'll have a full show for you. We promise. We'll make sure we make it up to you for this short one. But thank you for being here. Appreciate all y'all. Anybody who hasn't already, please go ahead, click that like and subscribe. Click the share button. The share button is powerful. Make sure that people you talk to in your circles that watch sports have an opportunity to hear what we have to say, and then they can join us next time. All right. So
absolutely.
We're gonna call it right here, and we out. Peace.